Welcome to New Life Live, the premier place to receive free advice from Christian psychologists and counselors for the mental, emotional, relational, and spiritual challenges you face. Since 1988, we've offered compassionate responses that combine God's truth with proven psychological principles to guide you toward healing. Our phone lines are open. Call us now at 1-800-229-3000.
Welcome to New Life Live. Glad that you're with us today. It's myself, Chris Williams, licensed marriage and family therapist. I also have licensed marriage and family therapist JJ West. How you doing, JJ?
I'm doing well, Chris. Good to see you.
Yeah, great to be on with you. And licensed psychologist, Dr. Jill Hubbard.
Hello, guys.
How you doing?
Doing great.
Good.
Glad to be here.
So, JJ, what's on your mind today? Talk to us.
Well, what's on my mind today is a passage from 1 Corinthians chapter 5, verses 16 to 18. It's one that we're all very familiar with. It says, "Rejoice always, pray without ceasing. In every circumstance give thanks, for this is God's will for you in Christ Jesus." Many of us have even got that one memorized, like it's known to us. But the truth is that for a lot of us, myself included, I would say I will be the chief of sinners here, our rejoicing, our thanksgiving is very situationally or circumstantially based. I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
So recently we had some storms come through Florida and pretty bad. And a lot of people have been devastated. Now, I was not one of those. We didn't even lose power. We didn't have any damage. We had a bunch of tree limbs down we had to clean up, but we didn't have any damage to our home and we didn't have any power outage. And as you talk to people and you share that, sometimes you'll hear something along the lines of, "Oh, isn't God good?" And it strikes me that while I appreciate what they're saying, that they're grateful that I didn't suffer, and I'm grateful that I didn't suffer. When we say it that way, it's kind of a pet peeve of mine, because it seems to indicate that for those who did suffer and are suffering, my aunt and uncle, their home is ruined. It was flooded. Is God not good to them?
Yeah.
To the thousands of people who've lost homes and loved ones in the last few weeks because of these storms, is God's goodness not for them? Are they supposed to ignore verses like this? I don't think so. I think that it's important that we recognize that God's goodness is not dependent on the circumstance I find myself in.
Yes, that's good.
God's goodness is based solely on the work of Christ on the cross for me. In fact, Paul, earlier in this passage, talks about the very fact that we are given to kind of look at the circumstances and go, "Oh, everything's fine, everything's good," and he points to the fact, no, we're focused on obtaining our salvation through Christ Jesus. That's the evidence of God's goodness to me, and the fact that Jesus said, "I will never leave you. I will never forsake you. I will be with you always to the very end of the age." And that means no matter what circumstance you're in, I am there with you. When you're suffering, I'm there with you. When you are successful, I'm there with you. When you're hurting, I'm there with you. That's the evidence of the goodness of God. And so I think we want to shift the way we look at it and even the way we talk about it, because in order for us to fulfill this verse, to rejoice always and pray without ceasing, it needs to be more than just when my circumstances are praiseworthy.
I think that is so critically important. It reminds me, JJ, of the verse in Philippians that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And yet Paul is talking about being imprisoned.
Yeah,
he's talking about
suffering.
Suffering, and whether I have much or whether I have little. I always say, it's the losing team that should be saying, "I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me much more," right? Because anyone could do well and be happy and joyful when things are going well. It's a different type of person, and obviously a deep connection to Christ that allows us to work through life's most difficult with a deeper sense of gratitude, hopefulness, and contentment. That's learning the great secret of Christ. So thank you so much for that, JJ. We'll be back with your calls right after this.
New Life Ministries
saved my completely broken marriage.
No matter how much hurt you've had to face, no marriage is beyond hope. At New Life Ministries Intimacy and Marriage Weekend, licensed counselors will help you rebuild communication skills and renew your commitment to each other.
You're building authentic intimacy, and you're learning how to connect on an emotional and relational level. You're learning how to listen. You're learning how to identify those core patterns that get in the way of good relationship.
The Intimacy and Marriage Weekend is October 25th through the 27th in Dallas, Texas. Register online at newlife.com or call 1-800-NEW-LIFE and use the discount code NLL to save $50. 1-800-639-5433.
3.5 years later, we're still going strong. I would encourage anybody who's struggling in their marriage to go. They are more effective than anything else we tried.
To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
Welcome back to New Life Live. Again, we are so glad that you are with us today, and we're going to jump right to the calls. We're going to go to Claire in Cleveland, Ohio, listening on Sirius XM. Claire, how's it going today?
Hi, good. Hi from Cleveland. Go Guardians.
Go Guardians, that's right. Much better that than the professional football team there, right? So...
Oh, yeah.
The Browns?
Yeah, we won't talk about that.
Okay, well,
yes. But the Guardians...
But I like their uniforms.
Yeah.
It's my colors.
Well, and you're representing,
okay, I
representing
digress,
today, yes.
yes.
Well, Claire, what's going on today? How can we help you?
I just have a very quick question. What do you think of a Christian working at a brewery restaurant?
Uh-huh. Okay. Claire, I've got to ask a question back. What's the context? What's behind the question?
I'm leaving my profession due to stress, and I'm looking to just go back to what I did before I went to nursing school, which is just working in restaurants.
Uh-huh.
And so I have an opportunity at a restaurant, but it's a brewery company, and I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Well, talk to me more. How do you feel about it?
Well, I feel like it's okay for some people to have a drink, as long as they don't overindulge. I personally don't drink, but then I'm left wondering, am I just going to be somebody that's facilitating a bad habit and a bad thing that's not
facilitating harm to somebody else? Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Claire, how would you feel about a Christian working in a bakery?
No problem.
But there are people who overindulge in sweets to the point that's really unhealthy for them. They practice gluttony. And can a Christian work in an environment where they're helping people behave in that way?
Yeah, that's a good thought. I hadn't thought of it that way.
So my point is not like it's totally fine, work wherever you want. As a Christian, it doesn't matter. I don't think that's true. But I do think that it's important that we recognize that we have agency. Mm-hmm. Each one of us has agency. We each have the choice to make in terms of what we are putting in our bodies, what habits we're engaged in, whether those are healthy or unhealthy habits. And my working at a restaurant where they serve alcohol, or me working at a bakery where they make treats that people then eat to indulgence, overindulgence, that doesn't take away that person's agency, that person's responsibility to make healthy choices for themselves. And I would add to it, you may find that you're in an environment where you're actually able to be light in a dark place, where you're able to share truth where there may be precious little truth being shared. I think that Jesus oftentimes found himself in similar circumstances, and quite frankly, the religious folk of his time didn't like the fact that Jesus hung out with the riffraff. He hung out with the unspiritual people. Now, he did it in a way where his morals, his beliefs were never compromised. And so that would be a critical question for you to ask yourself is, one, going into it, but also when you're there, am I finding myself becoming more like the environment that I'm living in or working in, or am I being something different and able to hold to my belief system?
Right. If I can be salt and light. Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking along those same lines about being light in darkness and that to be in the world but not of the world. But Claire, and it depends too on your background. You say you don't drink, but if you were someone who was an alcoholic and had an addiction, that might not be the best environment for you. But I like what JJ was saying. We don't just want to stay in our holy huddle, right? We have to kind of get out there and God can use us. And I think, though, like it kind of depends too on the establishment. Is it just a bar brewery where there's a lot of stuff that happens and it's in a seedier part of town, or is it a restaurant that serves beer and it's a brewery, right? So you can pick your environment. And so I think taking to count all the things that JJ said and also looking at again, you don't drink. Is this a place where you're going to be very judgmental of people, or maybe you're going to have compassion for people and their desire to maybe have either a social time or they just need to kind of get away from it all and have some relief.
Yeah.
And how can you be someone there in the midst of that to be an encourager?
Okay. Well, that sounds good. I hadn't really thought of it in exactly that perspective. So,
and Claire, can I jump in with one more thing? Your voice sounds burnt out. Are you burnt out?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so so I think you're honestly, though the question is important, it's the wrong question. So Claire, I think that you need, and this is not denying hopefully denying or dismissing the realities of life, having to make a living on planet Earth to pay for our daily expenses and to live. But I also think that there's an asset that's being overlooked here. And the asset is you. It's your well-being. Nursing, as you had mentioned, I don't know your details, but that is an easy profession to get burnt out on. And what happens is you get diminished. And so and that's where we can ask these questions of like, is this right or wrong from a moral perspective? And those are really important questions, but they may not be the right question.
They're not the only question, for sure.
Yes. I think the question is there a place I can find to earn a living that's going to give me life?
Right, because you can be burnt out anywhere.
Yes.
I mean, in nursing, you're getting people at the back end of their troubles. At the brewery, you're getting them at the front end, right? Yeah. The troubles haven't quite happened yet, but you're still doing some caregiving.
Oh, there's huge
and waiting on people and servicing them. And so, so why are you burnt out? What happened? Nursing's a hard profession that takes a lot of schooling to get into. And what has happened to your self-care, Claire? Where are you getting nourished?
Yeah.
Or not?
Maybe I'm not.
No, yes, yeah.
Right, so
not.
The idea of jumping ship and I'm just going to go do a mindless job, I don't know if it's going to pan out that way.
That's exactly it. Yeah, that's exactly what I want to just do a job that I clock out and that's it. I'm done.
And you don't have to worry
think about it. If I forgot your ketchup, I'm sorry. Take it out of my tip.
Yeah.
Not like somebody died or anything.
Oh,
but I hear in all of that, Claire, that even that response is not who you are. You get into nursing because you're a person that deeply cares. But one of the things that burnout does is it takes away our ability to care.
Yeah.
where we care less and we become careless. And that's why this is so important for you to look at in your life of like, where has my energy gone? Am I carrying pain? Am I carrying neglect, especially the neglect of myself? And so we're going to send you a copy of Take Your Life Back, because that will help you look at these different areas of your life that have been draining. Because what you need more than anything else is a filling and a fulfilling.
Yeah. The job doesn't take care of that.
No.
Yeah. So Claire, your question, so important, and we're going to redirect it, and that is, what gives life back to Claire? That's the question I want you to ask going forward. Sound good?
It sounds good. Pressure is just, I want a job that doesn't have the kind of pressure that nursing has.
Absolutely. I don't disagree with that at all. But again, look at broader than just what you do for a living. Look at your whole life in the context of that question. What brings life back to Claire?
Right. And too, there are different types of nursing too.
Yeah.
Some are higher stakes than others.
Yep. Absolutely.
But I like the direction you're going, and maybe even some therapy.
I think therapy would be great.
Might be really
absolutely
good
because
at this time, Claire.
Help you take a deeper dive to see if there's other things in your life that is draining you and your energy. So Claire, thank you so much for calling in today. And again, we are going to wish you very, very well, because we know that God has given you a ton of ability, a ton of talent, and a ton of care that just gets drained. And such a reminder for all of us. Self-care sounds like a cliche or a catchword. But if we aren't filled, we can't do anything for the people around us.
That's right.
And oftentimes we do that. We look at externals to fix the internals, and it just doesn't quite work that well. So we got to do a deeper internal dive to see what's going on beneath the surface. So with that, we're going to go right back to the phones. We're going to go to Tina in Anaheim, California, listening on KKLA. Tina, what's going on today?
Hi. Yeah, my son-in-law and my daughter moved in with her 7-year-old from previous marriage, and they had twins 16 months ago. My husband and I knew they were a sinking ship where they were living, and it was just a matter of time. And he said, well, they kind of, family help, so I guess you guys have to use the spare bedroom, and we'll figure it out. So he, meantime, got more sick. My husband has leukemia.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so here we are, and there's particular challenges. My son-in-law has a job. It is a tier sales kind of thing, so it's every 2 weeks you get paid. So let me turn something off. So every 2 weeks you get paid. I can have some conversations. It's very hard for my husband to have conversations with the son-in-law, though he's super brilliant, my husband, and he's just weak and doesn't want to be emotionally drained from some of their shenanigans. It's just a long story. But for some reason, I've had grace till now, and I've had some counsel. I have support. I go to my strong places, like my, Bible study, and take my walks, go to my gym. I try to do self-care, and once a month have the counseling where I again review that I need a strong center, I need a strong voice inside, and there's just so many ramifications of this, but they don't handle money well, and I keep dreaming that they'll do a Dave Ramsey situation. So they're in a lot of pickles. And financially, they know that we just sold something, but I said, that's not available. Dad has medicine. I'm trying to talk to them.
So Tina, you're in a situation where you can help, but they are people who right now are takers and not givers.
Right.
Okay, so what's the question for us?
Well, funny, we had a conversation, and we prayed this morning a little bit, my husband and I, that God would lead us, but we had thought about how our 3 adult kids are married, and we love the son-in-law who married my youngest daughter, and they took a lot of time with my husband this last year anyway. And then our oldest has a beautiful family and a successful career. And but everyone knows that our middle daughter, has some things to iron out. And I guess the question is, since we had this talk, my husband and I thought of a certain amount that we could give each of the kids and just kind of be done with it. I mean, I've had counsel that, just give them something so they can move out. But really, that's not the issue. The issue is this high percentage credit card of some kind, 30% anyway.
Okay, so Tina, you hear the music. Let's go this. Here, let me jump in. So I know there's a lot of variables involved here, okay, that get very confusing and overwhelming really quickly. What we want to do for you after the break is we're going to provide you clarity. We're going to make this really simple. You know, one of the terms used for therapists is shrink. Right, we're shrink. And it really it's short for
shrink the problems.
Yes,
right?
we're called head shrinkers. And so this is what we want to do for you. We want to be your shrinks for a moment and help you and your husband gain clarity on this issue. Again, thank you for calling in, and we'll be right back to you right after this.
Before coming to this weekend, I have been dealing with the guilt and shame of an abortion that I had 20 years ago. And we have 3 awesome kids. But every time I kept getting close to the Lord, kids saying to me, "You're the best mom." That voice in the back said, "You're a horrible mother. Look what you did to that child. You killed somebody. You don't deserve any of this, and you're not worthy." To help free me from my guilt and see that I would not make the same decision today, I would make a different decision, and I am a great mom, and God can use me.
This is Steve Arterburn, and this is the story of a new life. After 20 years of guilt and shame, she attended a workshop and now is free. You can be part of offering hope to others as you step out in faith by donating to New Life Ministries.
To make your tax-deductible gift, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE or visit newlife.com and click Donate.
I was sort of vaguely familiar that the 12 steps had some origination in the Bible. I found Life Recovery, and one of the things I liked so much was that it had such a broad appeal. It wasn't limited to just alcohol or drugs, that it was addressing a wide range of problems.
At New Life, we believe everyone can benefit from a life recovery experience. There are life recovery groups all over the country. They take place online, in conference calls, and in person. And if there isn't one in your area, we can help you start one. We have startup materials, leaders' guides, CDs, Bibles, and more, all with discounts available for groups. Call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE and ask for Terry Ward. The 12 Steps have long been a great help to people in recovery because much of the 12 Steps' power comes from the fact that they capture principles clearly revealed in the Bible.
The 12 Steps is really a pattern for all of us as Christians.
Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433. We'd love to hear from you. If you have a question or a comment, call toll-free 1-800-229-3000. Now back to New Life Live.
Welcome back to New Life Live. So glad that you're with us. Tina is with us. She's in this tough situation, which trying to financially help out her son-in-law and daughter while her husband has leukemia and her son-in-law and daughter can't seem to, quote-unquote, financially get it together. So, Jill, where do we go from here?
Well, and Tina, how long have they been living with you this time?
I believe it's 7 months.
Okay. Okay, and what was when they moved in, were there any parameters set?
Because we did not know. We didn't know what kind of depth they had going. We just knew, there's kids. Do we want our grandkids on the street? I mean,
right.
Of course you can. But,
right. Okay.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Well, it's really hard, I think, especially as a mom, when you see your kids floundering, and now it's grandkids. So what we might do with adult children, it's hard to do when there are little ones involved. But Chris and I were talking, and it seems like there's a lot of details here that you are trying to figure out. And in a lot of ways, I mean, they've created this problem for themselves, and I understand they're floundering, and it's wonderful when parents can help out. But when the help is not helping, then doing more of the same, and Chris, as you were saying, throwing more money at them is not going to help either. It's just a temporary fix.
In-laws did, but I think that was a while ago. We didn't really throw, we just said, hey, it's up to you,
Right, but you're talking about maybe giving them money and trying to make it fair and doing something like that. And I don't know if they're in a good place in their life where they would be good stewards of that money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, it's a specific thing because she's got a business mind and has a degree, and it's more specific for the specific credit card for the specific car.
Okay. But it sounds like you are very much involved in trying to help them solve this. And
I didn't talk to them about it yet, or even told my husband. I just told you guys.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I've been very private.
Okay.
Because I keep telling them I can't help, But
well, that's good.
You guys.
That's good. And I think that, and especially with your husband becoming increasingly ill, I think that can be a catalyst for you saying what works for you and what doesn't. Mm-hmm. And 7 months is a long time. Mm-hmm. And it may be time to have an end game where at a certain point you're asking them to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know that. We just know that it's, a bit of a bottomless pit. And there's it would be the street.
Yeah. Well, Tina, I think that what you just said keeps you trapped in the problem.
Well, I've never really said.
But no, hold on. It's not about what you've said. It's about the story you're constructing in your mind. It's about the anxiety about them. Right? When you're looking at the details of their life, and the details of their life are creating stress inside of you, that's creating a really bad story that you don't want to be true. So it's having you wrapped up in this, trying to figure it out, which is not your responsibility at all.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
And I have people that validate me and treating me, the way she's treating, or,
Mm-hmm.
But if I assume she's this way, it's not a bad place to worry about my husband or what things might happen. I mean, that is a virtue, but I try to go to my groups and people and, boundaries, because I had to take that class 6 years ago, which was the new version of boundaries. But because it's my preference, I think my codependence kind of does get in there. You're right. Mm-hmm. But an option might be to do the things you've reminded me of. Yes, she made the babies, and it's her responsibility for the things, the people, all that. But
so Tina, let me jump in. You're still trying to figure it out.
I'm looking at my last. I'm looking at my
yes, there's nothing for you to figure out here other than how do we set boundaries up.
Set boundaries to protect my mental health. Yeah. I know that's fine.
And again, the boundaries are for you, not to control them or change them. It's what you can handle or tolerate and what you can't, where you end.
Well, this is my real question. Can I do a situation where I see, they're spending on this and this? I feel like they need addiction class. Like if.
Well, hold on. Okay. Tina, let me say it one more time. I'll say it differently. I'll say it differently like this. Ready? If I'm Tina, here's my line to my daughter. I am out of ideas or solutions on how you can fix your life. Mm-hmm. Period.
Yes, you wouldn't want me to say.
So the figuring out part of your brain is still driven by that anxiety.
Yeah,
the story
that's what we moms do.
Yeah.
The whole
we
thing
don't give up until our kids are successful.
Yeah, go for it, JJ.
I was just going to say, this whole conversation, Tina, if I'm honest with you, having never met you, so I'm going to, take a risk here. Yeah. You sound emotionally flooded. And so every question that's asked or every statement that's made to you, you have like 5 or 10 different things that you come back with that are scattered. And it's because, understandably so, you are emotionally flooded right now because of all that's going on and all the problems that your daughter and son-in-law are facing. And it feels very important because not only are they going to suffer, but the grandkids could suffer if they choose unwisely. But you're trying to solve their problems while you're emotionally flooded, and that's never gonna be a good equation.
Yeah, that's good. That's good, JJ. Well, and you hear the music, Tina, so we're going to get back to you right after this.
I had been in porn addiction. My past had not been found out at all, yet I had hit a point in my life where it was time.
Men are barraged with inappropriate content and images all day, every day. It's a battleground for every man, and the opportunities to fail are everywhere. The Everyman's Battle Intensive can help.
I never divulged what I'd been doing.
Find help today at New Life's Everyman's Battle Intensive.
This is a place that changed my life in such a positive way for Christ, because I could be the Christian man that I'm called to be.
Now the intensive is coming to Orange County, California, November 1st through the 3rd. Register online at newlife.com or call 1-800-NEW-LIFE and use the discount code NLL to save $50.
I cannot say enough what it does in the Christian community for not just men, for their children, for their wives.
1-800-NEW-LIFE and the discount code NLL. Club New Life changes lives.
I think I go way back to listening to New Life, learning so much from it, and then becoming a Club New Life member.
Club New Life is a monthly giving family that helps New Life Ministries provide Christ-centered hope and counseling resources to thousands of people.
You know, I'm so thankful because you know why I keep giving? Because I keep learning, and I'm so thankful for all the lives that you touch every day and the people's lives. So when I get to still hear the radio show, it's just so encouraging to my heart.
When you sign up to support us monthly through Club New Life, you'll make a difference in the lives of individuals and families with godly counsel and connection to help.
And you know one reason I give? Because I feel like sometimes I'm hiding behind a counselor's couch, listening to all this great information, not paying. So my guilt of this great advice is alleviated by being a Club New Life member.
Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433. And together we can help hurting people find help and hope in life's hardest places. Call 1-800-639-5433 to join Club New Life today. We're glad you joined us for New Life Live. To be a part of the program, call 1-800-229-3000. Now back to New Life Live.
Welcome back to New Life Live. So glad that you are with us. We've been talking with Tina, who has a lot of things going on. A lot. You know, husband struggling through leukemia. Her daughter and son-in-law who are in financial struggles and trouble, living on them.
And grandkids.
And grandkids, a part of it all. Yeah. Tina, I want to give you a reality. I was running some numbers here at the break. You said 7 months living at your place. So you're in Anaheim, California. Here's the good news about that is my numbers can be fairly accurate because I just live a couple miles north of you. And so you have saved your children, and look at this as a gift, $20,000 to $25,000, somewhere in that range, probably closer to $25,000 in the last 7 months. Wow. And you got to ask yourself, what have they done with that $25,000?
Well, I know what they did.
Okay, and so that goes back to Jill's point. Throwing good money at bad only wastes the money.
Yeah, their perspective was 2 more kids, so bigger car, and sell the other one, but it hasn't been selling. But yeah, things happen, and
things happen to all of us, right? Like
all of
a spouse gets really sick with a serious condition, and so I think that's what we're leaning for. You got to ask yourself the question: what am I responsible for, and what am I not? And get super clear and super simple on that.
Yes.
Right. And that's where that shrinking part comes in. I want to get super simple. And then the things I'm not responsible for, those are the things I create boundaries around.
Right. Because even if your husband wasn't sick and you had an infinite amount of money, you're still under no obligation to pay the way of your children.
Nor is it wise.
Nor is it wise to do so. Exactly. Because
it ruins their lives.
We have to face resistance in order to grow, right? So it would be helpful, I think, to have a conversation with your daughter that goes something.
Go ahead, JJ. Oh, did we lose?
Sorry, I didn't realize. I'm having all kinds of sound issues, so I think I muted myself by mistake. So Tina, I don't know what you heard and what you didn't hear,
We
but
heard most of
all
it.
I wanted to say was have a conversation with your daughter that goes something like this. What's your plan for moving out on your own? You as a family moving out on your own, and what's your plan for taking care of the financial burdens that you have, right? To go back to Chris's point, I'm out of ideas to how to solve your life. So what's your plan? And then if she asks you for help, if she asks you for assistance, I don't know what to do. We've got so much debt. You could then make suggestions like, hey, have you thought about attending a Financial Peace University class or something like that, right? That's where when someone asks for help, that's now you're primed to offer that help. But if they're not asking, they're not looking for that, it falls on deaf ears.
Right. Yeah. They mostly do their own research, banking, do all these things, and I would not. They'd be offended if I actually.
Okay,
Good.
so good. So Tina, here's the deal then. You need the addiction class.
Well, maybe, but
no. Hear me out. It's that deep codependency that's inside of you.
Oh no, I'm not at all opposed to it, and I usually go once a month. Friday group too,
because it's your problem isn't your kid's problem. The problem that you're struggling with is the anxiety that you feel around it.
And unhooking.
Yeah. So do you have a therapist?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
Keep working that. Keep working the anxiety. You discovering, as we see in Scripture, seek peace and pursue it. Mm-hmm. Pursue it with all that you can. Allowing your daughter and son-in-law to figure this out. Because if they figure it out, you've taught them to fish rather than giving them a fish. Or they've taught themselves to fish, right?
And stop playing out worst-case scenarios.
Yes.
Okay, I don't see your grandchildren living on the streets.
That ain't gonna happen. I could guarantee you that.
But I know my husband might be helpful, and I need a peaceful situation in order to have a healthy situation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
You guys, because my husband and I had a talk about a certain number, and then today she brought something up that sounds like it really would make a connection to, get them back on their feet. I don't know.
And you can take this one step at a time. You can take this as it comes. But the most important thing, we're going to keep coming back to it over and over, is does it work best for you? Is it within your responsibility? And if it's outside of it, you give it to them. Now, when we give gifts like this, I'm one big believer, especially with family, I'd much rather you give a gift than a loan. Yes. Because the loan is
damages relationship.
It compromises the relationship. You want to give a gift, give a gift. You want to give a loan, that's what banks exist for, not family members.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So for sure.
If she was back and got a loan against her car, and that's why she's sort of in a pickle.
Well, and we all make some mistakes along the way.
She's going to figure it out.
So Tina, here's what we're going to do. We're going to give you a copy of Take Your Life Back. And again, that's going to help you understand, again, what's going on a little bit underneath the surface for you.
Do
you say you own it?
I might, because
How about Doing Life with Your
adult? Okay, then we're going to send you, we're going to send, great suggestion, Jill, Doing Life with Your Adult Children by Jim Burns.
Thank you so much. I know I was absorbing a lot of stress because, these children, but...
Yes.
Yeah.
The decisions she's made in life are complicated, and
they are, and they're not yours to be complicated with.
It's not. Right.
Yeah. All right. Well, Tina, thank you so much for calling in today. And again, just follow that wisdom. Follow the wisdom that's there. And
maybe go more than once a month to your codependency group.
Yes, go every week. Get that support. Codependency is really, really sticky and difficult to get recovery from. Absolutely. Well, JJ, I'm going to take this in a little bit different direction because we have an event that is very, very important coming up. We have Every Man's Battle here in Orange County. It is coming up November 1st. And it is today that the early bird special ends. JJ, why should guys be signing up for Every Man's Battle right now?
Well, one, to save money because you can still get the early bird special, so take advantage of that, right? But two, man, you're going to experience freedom, and doesn't your heart long for that? Like, aren't you so exhausted from from struggling and failing and just living in that shame cycle? Don't you want to live in freedom? And the Everyman's Battle Intensive gives you the opportunity. It doesn't fix you. Nothing fixes us. But it gives you the opportunity to experience freedom. And you're going to do it with other guys who know what you're going through. We create a no shame zone. We look at all of the deeper issues, not just behavioral. This isn't just a behavioral thing. If it was, we could have stopped it a long time ago. We're going to look at all the deeper issues that are driving this behavior. We're going to look at how we're not just conditioned to act out sexually, but how we're conditioned to act in relationally, to withdraw and isolate from others. Man, this is a wonderful opportunity, and especially if you're in the Southern California area where you could drive to it.
Oh yeah, it's
my
a no-brainer.
Goodness, like it's a no-brainer. You got to go. You got to go.
Yeah. JJ, as we mentioned, oftentimes we can't see the benefits on the other side of this. But you and I have had this experience over and over, both personally and professionally, that when a person gets into recovery, especially from sexual addiction or sexually damaging behavior, or, my goodness, if we would calculate the amount of time and energy and space eaten up by porn addiction, we would be shocked at what it takes away from our lives. And when you get all of that time and that energy and ultimately the emotional, mental, and spiritual freedom, we just start discovering that there is so much more inside of you that you can be a part of, that you can do, so much more relationship that you can get fulfillment from. And so what you get back on the back end of this really seemingly scary and hard journey is so much more than your investment that you ever put into your healing process.
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and don't let finances be the determining factor. There are scholarships available if finances are an issue for you. We don't want anyone to miss out because they couldn't, quote unquote, afford to go. Absolutely.
I've mentioned this story before, and it is from the movie We Bought a Zoo.
Oh yeah, you
right?
have.
Yeah, where the father is telling the kid, about 20 seconds of courage that changed his life.
Oh yes.
Right. And so all it takes, guys, is 20 seconds of courage. Pick up the phone, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE, and follow through.
Right, and it's the quickest way to begin the process of eradicating the problem.
Absolutely.
The absolute quickest. You won't be able to do this on your own.
Yes. So, friends, 20 seconds of courage to change your life. Call us 1-800-NEW-LIFE or just go online, newlife.com/events. You can go to the Everyman's Battle page. Sign up today. Early bird ends today. We want to see you there here in Orange County, November 1st. And with that, we're going to be back right after this.
We all face days where life throws us a curveball and our routines or plans get disrupted. Things we wanted to do are forced to take a backseat to the unexpected demands of the day. If you normally listen to New Life Live on a radio station, well, you might not be able to that day. And on these hectic days when you're feeling stressed or frazzled, hearing the sound of counsel given on New Life Live is just what you need to navigate the unexpected things of life.
Every time I'm troubled or I have a problem, I'll cut on New Life, and there's always something that is said that is helpful to me.
By listening, I have learned more than I can ever express about how God wants me to live.
Download the New Life app for the easiest way to listen wherever you are and at a time that's convenient for you, or watch the show on our YouTube channel. You can even subscribe to our podcast from your favorite podcast provider. You never have to miss a day of New Life. Wherever you are, we are.
Hi, this is Steve Arterburn, and for over 34 years, New Life has been the most trusted name in Christian counseling.
I'm an addict, and I'm trying to get God in my life again.
Our Christ-centered treatment programs can help you break free to embrace all that God has for your life and your family.
I just want to thank you guys for bringing me to a relationship with Jesus.
There really is help for marital problems, depression, addictions, panic attacks, and feelings of hopelessness.
I came back with so many tools to help me prepare myself to
fight this struggle and this battle that I have every day.
You can start living again today, living the life God intended for you. Help is available at 1-800-NEW-LIFE.
They did care, and they did follow up very lovingly, and it made all the difference in my life.
Call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Someone who cares is waiting at the other end of the phone. God can open the door to a better tomorrow. Call 1-800-639-5433.
To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
Welcome back to New Life Live. So glad that you're with us today. I just want you to know, for those who contribute and financially partner with us, your giving helps provide a path of transformation to those that are hurting. Here's what one listener wrote in. She said, the book, The God of Second Chances, led me to your ministry. I was struggling with the awful realization that I had taken the life of my own child through an abortion. Mm-hmm. I was filled with guilt, shame, regret, and despair at what I had done. I read Steve's story, which gave me a ray of hope, that there was a God of mercy and love and forgiveness who provided an answer to my heartache. I found New Life Live on the radio and began listening. The fusion of psychology and biblical principles helped me on my journey of healing and reconciliation with God, the God of heaven and earth, and through his son Jesus. My journey took me many years, but the book Healing is a Choice, as well as the workshop I attended, were instrumental resources. Thank you for showing me that there was a way of lasting transformation. And again, wow, what an incredible impact that the ministry has. And by being a financial contributor, you are an essential and integral part of that impact. If you want to donate today, go to newlife.com, hit that donate button. And we're going to go to one final call today. We're going to go to Marie in Boston, Massachusetts. And Marie, how's it going back there in the great Northeast, and how can we help you?
Patriots aren't as good as they used to be.
They aren't, right? They are. Brady and Belichick are on to different pastures, and man, they're... Yep. Hey, yep. I'm a lifelong Broncos fan. I've been in this demise for a decade now, so I feel your pain. Feel your pain. So,
anyway.
Yes, so what's going on?
I have my sister, Paula. I shouldn't say names, I guess. My sister... has had needs for a while now, and we encouraged her to come closer to family. She lived in Virginia, and she sold everything she had in her apartment, gave it all up, came here, and it got difficult. One, I totally didn't even think that I was having a shoulder replacement, so that didn't help much. But two, it's getting difficult for both of us. She's a Christian, I'm a Christian, my husband's a Christian, and nothing is working out. She has been homeless. She has been given money. She is in need of all these mental and physical issues, and I don't know what to do, but my husband wants her gone today, and she came here to sleep last night and the night before. Other than that, she used all her money to go to hotels, and she doesn't have anything left until next month when she gets her Social Security in November. So I don't know what to do. I don't know. And she just came home, so I was hoping that she could be part of this conversation. And then she said she already tried New Life to get help, and you couldn't help her, or whatever she said. But I need strength. I need to know the boundaries. I need to know. I have to do what my husband wants.
For sure.
I'm not very good at doing that with him.
Yeah.
I've called your station so many times when I lived in New York.
Yeah, well, Marie, let me ask a question. How long has your sister's life been out of control?
Out of control, I'd say for about 3 years. I had to go to Virginia 2 years ago to help her.
So let me ask this: what? For time's sake, what happened 3 years ago?
She was depressed, and she was not coherent. She was diagnosed with pseudo dementia. She had to have her car taken away from her because she forgot where she was going and got lost. So we thought if she was near family,
that you can take care of her.
out.
Yeah. Yeah, but it turns out that the care, that the care that you could provide her really ultimately wasn't going to help her for whatever reason. But you have but she's in this really, really scary, difficult situation, but it's really negative impacting your guys' life.
Right, and I'm wondering what the plan was with her moving, what care you thought you could provide, or that she could...
The plan was that she would stay with us until she found a place.
Okay.
We figured maybe a month. We didn't think it was going to backfire in like a week's time. She's unemployed. She's handicapped, so she's limited. And she has been to the emergency room, in the hospital 100 times, not 100, at least 4 times since she's been here the last 2 months. And someone from Elder Abuse Services suggested that she go to a hospital that has a wing in the hospital that's a psych ward, and that they would help her. And they called me. We dropped her off last night, and they called me yelling at me because they said, "You don't dump your sister and expect us to take care of her."
Yeah,
so they paid
that's
for
terrible.
her to come back to my house, and I don't know what to do. But it's not working out.
Is your sister on disability?
I think so. She gets Social Security. Yes, she's got Medicaid and Medicare. Of course, everything is in Virginia because she just moved here, so she has a lot of paperwork to fill out. She went to the senior center today, and she said they gave her a lot of paperwork to fill out.
So Marie,
is she capable of filling that out?
No, she needs help with that desperately. So I can help her with that.
Mm-hmm.
But my husband wants her gone tonight, and I don't know what else to do.
Right.
She has gotten help, people paying hotels.
Marie, you said that she's mentally ill and she has dementia or early stages of dementia.
And that's saying pseudo-dementia. I think that you have dementia because you're not taking your medication properly. I don't know.
Okay. So it sounds like she needs to be like in a board and care, a place.
A live-in situation.
A living situation.
That's what we were going. That's exactly what we were going to do. And
so Marie.
So why didn't?
Yeah, what happened? Because we only got a couple minutes left on the show here.
I don't know what to do, but she can't live here anymore.
Okay, so let's do this. JJ, what you had something. What were you thinking?
Well, just that there are shelters set up specifically for people with mental health disorders or different stages of disability, and it sounds like that's the best route. Now, your sister may choose to not stay there and live on the street, but that's her choice. Mm-hmm. But your responsibility is not to house her, but to let her know what her options are, and then you let her go. And it's hard to watch someone that you love make choices that are unhealthy for them, but you can't fix it for her. So I would suggest that you contact whatever social services are there in your area to say, explain to them, here's the situation, here is the nature of her disability. What are the housing situations that are available to her in this area, and then you can provide her help with the paperwork as well as transportation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and county mental health, social worker, so that she has an advocate.
Well, and I think have a conversation with your husband. Let him know that you're working to get her into a different facility, and that from that point it will be up to your sister. But ask your husband if you can have a little bit of time, even put a time boundary on it if you can, 1 week. I don't know what that may be, but let's get the paperwork, let's get the solution, let's find out. And then sister has to then embrace the solution, or she's, regardless, she's out on her own.
The other thing, too, to live in your house, she's got to be on meds.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. So, Marie, we know that this is an incredibly complicated, difficult situation. We're so sorry for it, but we're going to send you a copy of Boundaries, the updated version of that. And thank you so much for calling. Everyone else, thank you for being with us today. And until next time, be well.
Thanks for listening. We hope this program has helped you by giving you insights for handling the challenges you face in your life. We want you to know that we're here for you, but you also need to know that New Life Live is a listener-supported ministry. To make your donation or to get any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433, or write to us at New Life Ministries, P.O. Box 1029, Lake Forest, California, 92609. Please join us again on Monday for New Life Live.
Thanks for watching today. We love helping people. I hope you sense that. And we know that there's always hope if you find the right resource. Now, if something we've said to somebody else applies to you, that's fantastic. That's what we're hoping for. But also, if you want to join us directly, you can call 1-800-229-3000 between 1 and 3 Eastern Time, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesdays. Those are the best times to get through. And while you're here on YouTube, check out these other videos that we've done to help people see where they could grow or a different path to take. And if you do that, would you give us a thumbs up on the video, and please subscribe to this channel. There are many ways that we can help you outside of the radio program, and it's very hard for some to pick up a phone and dial 1-800-NEW-LIFE, but when you do, we put you in touch with somebody who cares about you, knows all the resources out there, and they're going to find the best for you. There is no reason to struggle alone. I hope to see you tomorrow. Hope you'll invite somebody else to come and join that maybe needs just a little bit of help along the way. I'll see you next time.